just keep giving us more Gladiators Beast Yu-Gi-Oh! Just keep it rolling in the doors that you'll be getting when I'll be buying some of these cards very soon, and I'll like to get that, because like there's, I don't know what just happened and all that like in the show, but it was just like, let's make a longer episode. And I actually think like now that we think about it, there's actually a kind of darker reason why that this is a very longer episode than we've just been having one episode fights and all that for like the longest time in arc B. But no matter, let's immediately address the brand new Gladiator Beast cards that are immediately out right now. So first one is Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor, which was immediately summoned by like the actual like general coming in like to the duel after everything and all that. You had like Jack Atlas coming in with the intrusion penalty, taking 2,000, bringing out his Red Dragon like archie and all that, Scarlight and all that, bringing that all in. He was like, I'm gonna try and fuck up your cards, but no, we wasn't having none of that. Like Battle Beast was like using his Medusa trap card, which I believe it like negates like I believe it was like it was able to negate destruction and all that. So it's like giving Abel like more support for the Gladiator Beast. And when the actual general managed to get into this and like bringing out, which although like he had this test fusion card which is able to let you fusion summon Gladiator Beast monsters in there, you can clearly see that he had Test Ape and Test Tiger, which aren't one, they aren't Gladiator Beast cards, they're Gladiator Beast support ones. They haven't got Gladiator in their name at all. And when I went to actually check out Gladiator Beast Tamer himself, the only way how you can summon Editor himself is by having 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters. So it kind of works around it like it's going to be one of the most strongest of the Gladiator Beast out there because it's so goddamn powerful. And thinking like how many like of the level 5s that you'd had to like get out there. Honestly, the best way to get it out is just like you had 2 like August in your hand, and you had like you summoned one on the field and you brought out another one. That was like kind of the only best way you can bring out this card, like honestly. So it's like that's the like way support. But honestly, Gladiator Beasts normally don't have like that many like especially when I run in my deck, you don't really have that many like 5 or higher monsters in there, so I think it's kind of probably needed to like use some of the other cards on that, bring like Sparkus, maybe use the fusion monsters as well into that if you're in a little bit of a pickle. But this guy is nuts. Once per turn you can choose any Gladiator Beast fusion monster in any of the player's extra deck and special summon it to its its controller's field in attack position, ignoring its summoning conditions. And if you have 2 or more Gladiator Beast monsters on the field, the controller of that monster can destroy 1 card on the field and inflict damage and all that to its controller equal to that monster's attack point. And you add into that, if it's attacked and all that, like you can, at the end of the battle phase and all that, like you can negate an attack. And you can also as well, if any of your Gladiator Beast monsters have like attacked this turn, you can shuffle the Gladiator Beast monster from your deck and also as well bring out a brand new Gladiator. Funny enough, like this one, especially like with the normally when you have with the fusion monsters and all that, like with you have like Spark, like with Sparkus is one, you also as well like have with like Bastati and like their ones. Normally it's like you can bring them out, but you can't special summon Bastati again. This one is like trying to balance it in a way, because like, well, if you just did that, then you could just actually just like bring back the 2 level like 7 monsters. So it's trying to balance it, and it's like, no, you can bring back like like just one of them. So I kind of like that as a fact. If you can use this effect if you want to, but for the most part, like honestly, it sounds like you just want to keep this guy on the field, and definitely he's going to be a highly focused ball monster and all that. And it's like you get this out with Editor, and I know he brought back like the 1,000 attack point one that gives you like a bunch of attack. But honestly, you bring out like Gyazarus with this, like you just, all you gotta do is focus getting Editor out, and it's like, oh, I bring out Gyazarus, pop, 2 cards there, oh, I've got 2 monsters, there goes your monster, and some of your life points, oh, attack, boom. Like, this card can literally, like, if in the right hands and near to the point where you can like one-shot a guy. Like it's almost like at that point where it's like you have that, you have Gyazarus take out any spell and trap cards, and they have 1 powerful monster on the field, get it like I don't know 3,000 attack points, pop like that, and you have those 2 like a Gyazarus and this attack. That's pretty much game over, man. Like you pretty much lost all your life points there, and it's like this card is like completely deadly. Like it's a ferocious card, and I mean like damn, the Editor is probably now, yeah, he is the strongest out of the Gladiator Beast cards just because of straight up the effect, and now having the fact that we have a spell card like Test Fusion where we're actually able to now bring out Gladiator Beast cards from like we don't have to bother like bringing them out onto like the field anymore, because that was always Gladiator's biggest weakness, is that you have to bring them out and they're useless if you use something like Skill Drain on the field. But if you have like some like cards that you don't need, even if you have like 2 or like Augustus in your hand or a Spartacus, you could just go, oh, Test Fusion, there you go, bring out this card, oh, I can bring out another one. So yeah, like, I don't know if they're going to change this card and all that, like, a lot, but definitely with BB. And then having, like, this giant fucking, like, dome area, like, this massive, like, trap card that, like, honestly, it sounded a little bit convoluted. It sounded like it had way too many effects and all that. It sounds like that isn't either going to be a card at all, where it was like, oh, I can add 2 Gladiator monsters under it, I can add like this and that, and it's like, okay, honestly sounds like they're going to change something about that, or that's not going to be in there at all, like, because it sounds fucking ridiculous, dealing like 1,000 like life points and all that, having storing 2 cards, able to shuffle cards in the deck. It's like, it's ridiculous, like this massive thing. And honestly, when you think about why this is the longest episode out, like why like this one, like why the sudden change of pace, like why we gotta have this, as like you just questioning about himself, as like, oh, like, you know, what is this secret thing inside of me? And it's like, oh, like, you know, they're addressing some stuff which I kind of liked about that. But you really think about this episode, this is honestly padding, like, and it's a sad thing, because if I didn't give a fuck about Gladiators, I would really like hate this episode a lot more, where it's like, this is super padding right now, because it's like, yeah, they're like planning, they were like, okay, we've got a set episode date now where we want to end the show. Let's do, like, you know, let's, you know, just stop here for a little minute, buy some time with this guy, add some stuff on the side and all that. This is what we're going to do. And that's a little bit worrying thing, where it's like, okay, they had everything else planned out, which is kind of cool, but it's like, they're kind of, yeah, it's dragging this one. I honestly thought this like episode was going to be 2 episodes, and it definitely felt like where it was going, it was going to be 2 episodes as well. But, you know, the guy like ended up turning back on the actual like general guy and blowing in the fuck up, you know, like using the Tamers effect, like, with himself. I was like, oh jeez, like, you know, fucking him over there, and he's clearly just unstable. But honestly, Editor's a really powerful card. Like, it had 2,400 attack points, which is not too bad, not too shabby at all, same as much as Gladiator. And then he has 3,000 defense, so he's actually a very good wall to have. Like, you can, like, he can stay on the field for quite a while if need be. Like, honestly, I'm saying, unless they change anything about him, but it's like, I'm very impressed now. Like, you know, they've definitely given us 2 like new fusion cards. They've given us a ton of continuous trap and spell cards and all that for them. You're getting us a new fusion like material card and all that to use with them, which I really like as well. And, you know, the only thing that we're missing is that we didn't get any new like actual effect monsters to that, to be fair. So I was a little bit upset about that. But then as well, Gladiator has so many cards. I wouldn't mind though another 2 cards. I think generally at this point, because we've got so much, I wouldn't mind just like 1 or 2 more like effect monsters, and that's it. Like, they don't even have to be that intimidating, but I would like kind of like a searcher. That was the only thing I would kind of like to have. It's like have like something like, you know, like what we had with like not Dimakiri, but the what I believe his Equeste is the one that like brings stuff from your graveyard into your hand. Like, have something like that, like that lets you, like, if you discard a card in your hand, bring like a Gladiator beast card from your into your hand from your deck, and something like that. It was an enjoyable episode. I definitely did enjoy it as well. Like, it was nice seeing Jack Atlas again. His whole reason, like, yeah, I got to do it for the kids. I got to do it for them now. But it's like, okay, all right, you know, that's your reason for coming back and all that. It's like, you know, everything's fine, you know, back at the Synchro mission. But it's like, no, let's focus on these guys. And it's definitely, I'm kind of looking forward to this like whole duel being wrapped up next week. But I mean, pretty solid episode. I definitely get it, like, so far, like this episode and all that. But like I said, I did enjoy it. I think it was a good episode. Like, definitely loving it a lot more. I feel very, you know, like, loving the amount of love and attention Gladiators are getting. And it's just like, Editor, you are going immediately into my deck, straight up. Cannot wait to get you. You are such a badass fucking Gladiator beast card. Definitely improved this deck highly and all that, and you've made us a lot more usable and all that, and a lot more intimidating than an opponent tonight to go against and all that. But, you know, they're always pretty fearsome nonetheless. But that's all for me. I will see you beautiful bastards though next time.